Welcome, everybody. It's May 26th. Happy Memorial Day. Let's go and close our eyes. And just really feel your breath. Take a long breath in. Take a slow breath out. Take a deep breath in. Take a quiet breath out. Just really begin to feel the inhale and the exhale. Belly rises and belly falls. Try to bring your attention to the very base of your lungs. And see if you can just sit there in stillness for a moment. With all of your focus right at the bottom of the lungs. Now consciously breathing into the base of the lungs. So that the belly rises, the belly falls. Deep breath in, long breath out. Slow breath in, quiet breath out. Noticing what your mind is doing as we settle into the breath. Notice any distractions, anything coming up outside of you, as you just practice being here now. After a few more breaths, when you're ready, you can roll your shoulders, you can stretch your arms, move your head a little bit if you wish, and go ahead and open your eyes, coming back. So good to see your beautiful faces. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Monday. So today we're working on forgiveness, and it is our last official week for the school community calls, and we'll move into something different next week. But I just taught the Return to Self class. For those of you guys that were in that class, welcome back here. So I'm going to start, when I was tuning in what to teach this group, it's what I started in the RTS, so you're going to hear a repeat, so y'all know. So we're going to be starting today's class with what's called the 3 beliefs of the ego. Okay, and I talk about this a lot in some of my other classes, so you may have heard this before. But there's 3 beliefs of the ego, and this work originates from the book called The Law of One. Okay, so 3 beliefs of the ego. The first belief, and it all comes down to the very first belief, that I'm separate from unconditional love. I'm separate from God. I'm separate from the divine. I'm separate from source. And this clunky body I have is proof that I'm here. Wherever that energy exists, it's not here. So this clunky body with my eyes and ears will convince me of the thought system that I'm a body moving around the planet and I'm all alone, so I got to go hang out with Tina. So I'm not alone. What the clunky body forgets is I'm not a clunky body, and that the first belief of the ego is this idea of separation. So this energy called God, the divine love, is somewhere over there, and I'm over here, and we're distant. And that's the first belief of the ego. And we're triggered by the first belief of the ego. First belief, I'm putting them in the chat box so you can see them, is the idea of separation, and that creates the emotion of sadness. And because we believe that we're separate, that's why we get sad. That's why we're like, get depressed. I'm all alone. Then comes in what's called the second belief. And the second belief is, then remember I made that comment, like, I got to hang out with Tina, right? That was a joke comment I made. But notice, what is my first belief? If I'm all alone, I'm separate, then what do I want? I want to go hang out with Tina. That going and hang out with Tina could be, I want to go have a Porsche, I want to have $1 million, I want to travel the world. That thing outside, that's the second belief. And that's attachment, that I need this to make me feel better. I need a human to make me feel better. I need this person's approval to make me feel better. And then when we don't have we have the attachment, that creates anger and frustration. Okay. So I want a BMW, I want a degree, I want this, I want that, because that's going to make me feel better because I'm all alone on the planet by myself. And then the third belief comes in, because I want to hang out with Tina. I want to go have a Porsche. I want to have $1 million. I want to have my mortgage paid. Then the third belief comes in, that's called control. And then that creates fear, because I have to go do it. I have to go find that Porsche. I have to go to Tina. I have to go and do something. I have to go, I have to go, I have to go. And that creates control, which creates fear. So when you think about it, just for yourselves, put it to the chat box. If number one is sadness, number two is frustration, number three is fear, which one do you do more? Use the chat box. And you could do, I do all three, but I do fear the most, frustration second, sadness first. Like go 3, 2, 1. What do you do the most in order? What emotions do you do the most? What is your bigger emotion? We got 3 and then 1 from PJ. Great. 3 and then 1 from Lilani. Great. Fear, sadness, and anger. So we got 3, 1, and 2 from Trina. 3, 2, 1 from one Jamie, and 1 from the other Jamie. Good. 1, 3, 2. Good. 3 and 2. Great, Louise. 1, 3, 2. Great, Rachel and Bree. Amazing. They're all pretty even right now, but fear is most predominant. Great, great, Emmy. Fear, then sadness. Amazing. So 3, 2, 1. Great, Angie. So when if we break it down just like I just described it, this perceived separate, and I use the word perceived separation comes first. You guys with me? The very first thing that happened is this perceived separation. So let's just, Louise, I'm going to use you just because your camera's on. So imagine, and Louise lives in the UK, so she's far enough away, and I'm in Vancouver, Canada. So imagine Louise is God or the divine. I feel I'm so separate from Louise. So that's because of that separation. She's all the way over there. I'm sad. She's so far away. So that's the core of all these beliefs. That's the base of them all. And then I need something, a plane ticket. I need to just go find. I have to go get it. I have to go get it because Louise is too far. So I got to find something else here. I got to find something else. I got to find something else. So that's the attachment. And really, Louise, God, is not in England. It's right here in my heart, right here. But because I need something outside to feel better, then I got to control. So you guys can see that. You can see that because the first is the first, in order to heal either control or attachment or fear or frustration, you have to go back to this idea of you're separate. You can't heal control. Well, I'm going to fix my control. It doesn't work that way. It all goes back to the perceived separation because you've never been separate from love. Got it? And that's the sadness that we all feel, that we are separate from something else. So go to close your eyes for a second. And with your eyes closed, we'll do that meditation I do a lot, where we go and find a place in nature. A place that we might visit often, or a place that we've never been to, or the place maybe in our own home. Once you find that place, safety and comfort is right there. Use your eyes. What do you see? Use your ears. What do you hear? What do you smell in this place in nature? What does the air feel like against your skin? In your safe and comfortable place. And just keep breathing. Long breath in. Slow breath out. Deep breath in. Quiet breath out. Out of the corner of your eye, there's something or someone coming here. This is your wise guide, your higher self. Welcome them in. Allow your wise guide to come in. Some of you will see them. Others of you will know of their presence. But most of you will feel this energy of unconditional love. And just be here for a few minutes as you breathe. Get comfortable feeling, sensing, or knowing of this energy as you breathe. If you can see your wise guide, what do they look like? If you can feel them, what do they feel like? If you can hear them, what do you hear in your safe and comfortable place? And just keep breathing. And I want you to imagine, sense, see, or feel. There's no gap between you and your wise guide. You think, I am here and they are there, like a physical space. But I would love you to imagine like a continuum of energy. No gap. And just keep breathing. This energy has always been here, connected with you since the moment you were conceived. In fact, they have been with you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. There you go. It's the idea that you're alone or separate is the biggest lie ever. This energy has always been with you. Please stay here for a few breaths. Connected and loved. Beautiful. When you're ready, start to very slowly bring your awareness back very slowly to the room, no rush at all. And then when you're ready, go to open your eyes. Use the chat box and just say, how was that? How did that feel? Want to feel anything, see anything, know anything? What's it like to think that You're not separate from them. Give you guys a second to see if anyone wants to chap in. What happened as you experience this experience that they're not out there in the heavens, they're like right next to you. Reassuring. Thanks, Angie. Yeah. There is no separation between you and that energy. I'm going to do one more visual, then I'm going to go back into motherhood. Jamie wrote, so wonderful. I saw my whole family who is no longer here. Oh, so beautiful, Jamie. Wow. A mother presence, writes PJ. I felt deeply relaxing and coming back to the comforting truth of oneness. Love that. I felt calm and comforting. Beautiful, Brie. Felt a different heart rhythm, writes Lilani. Like only one heartbeat. Wow. Peace, writes Rachel. Amazing, writes Louise. I couldn't see, but could feel. It was one and the same as me. Yeah. I love that. Absolutely love that. So that's the antidote to the idea of separation. And if there was only one thing you ever focused on in your spiritual development life, it's that. You're not separate, because that's the base belief, right? First, second, third beliefs of the ego. You're not separate. But let's go a little bit deeper. How is this connected to forgiveness? So if you're watching some of the pre-recorded material on the forgiveness challenge, we're working on the mother, father, sibling wound right now, which is so fun. We just did that in Return to Self class. We just did the whole class on mother wound, which is so fun. So the idea that first off that you're this physical body is the lie, because when you study energy, and you see that the only reason I see a body is because of how the particles are moving and how fast or slow they are. And Jamie, for example, not the Jamie whose face I can see, but the other Jamie who's on class right now, he was saying that in that meditation it was really beautiful because he was able to feel his departed loved ones, his family, who's left this physical plane. They haven't gone anywhere. They're not up there 10,000 miles away in the sky. They're right next to you if you call them in. But it takes a belief in that. It takes a willingness. There's never been a time on the planet that there's so many shows on mediumship on TV. More and more people believe in this than ever before. So when we understand that we've always been connected, we've always been loved, I'm more than this body, how does this connect to mother-father bond? So each of us, I talk with my hands, each of us have a wound, and my hair clip represents that wound. Each of us have a wound that I'm not enough, I was controlled by my mother, I got to be small, whatever the story was. They didn't love me, right? This is the wound. And then what happens, especially for those of you who come to my retreats, what happens is we'll walk around with this wound. And then in comes my black hair clip. So my green hair clip is your wound. The black hair clip is your physical manifestation in your adult life. You marry your father. You marry your mother. You marry the wounding from childhood. Or your boss is that. Or your clients are that. Or your coworkers this, whatever. This external reality is from the internal reality. So when anyone comes and sees me, they're like, they're driving me crazy. This person's driving me crazy. This person's driving me crazy. It takes me some time. I usually can't do it in one session. Sometimes I can. It's up to my guides, never up to me. I have them get to the feeling of this person in their external reality today. And that feeling of, I'll pull my fucking hair out. They're driving me fucking crazy. If you don't know, I swear a lot. They're driving me nuts. That feeling is not the adult feeling. It's the childhood feeling. But as a child, you either couldn't say it, you couldn't feel it, you weren't allowed to go there. It wasn't, you didn't have the verbiage yet for it. But now you're an adult and you keep marrying that same person, you keep having the same boss, you keep experiencing the same thing with clients. We always have to go back to, it's usually mother, father, sibling wound, or it could be cultural wound, it could be childhood wound, whatever. In a class that I teach that the other Jamie's in, Wounds to Wisdom, we're identifying these green ones in them the other day. It was actually super fun. Because we can spend our whole life blaming the external reality. But until we go here, there's no healing. Now, how is this connected to forgiveness? So first off, when I'm connected to that energy of infinite love of my guides, there's only love. You guys got that, right? We connected to guide number 1, guide number 2. They're not distance, they're connected. Connect that to forgiveness. Forgiveness ultimately is this idea that I am this infinite energy. So I am this infinite landscape of infinite energy of love, right? Me and all my guides, 1,000 guides hanging out. And I've created this story. I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough. Forgiveness is a release of a thought. Forgiveness is let me give this thought up and let me know the truth that I am love. And the only reason my nervous system is going cuckoo, the only reason this is happening is because I have this thought that it's not safe. So my job, if I want to have any peace as an adult, if I keep focusing on the external, I'll keep having pain. If I'm willing to go, okay, this external is only because of a pain from my childhood, and I'm willing to forgive this green hair clip, this story I made up as a child, which felt really real and probably was really real. I get it. But do you guys remember that video I put up in the forgiveness challenge where I talked about reality and illusion? It's a tough video. But I know myself, Divi, when she's learned those concepts for years, and remember, if you didn't watch that video, cool, I'll explain it really quickly. The only thing that's real in my office, I have an office that's about 10 by 10. So I'll tell you what's in here. I've got 4 lamps. I got 5 lamps actually. I've got 3 IKEA lamps and 2, I don't know, ring lights or whatever. And I've got 2 plants. I've got chairs, food. I don't even know what else. Bottle of peanut butter. I don't know what else I got here. The only thing that's real is the essence of my soul. And if you believe plants have a soul, then I've got 3 souls in this room. I've got 3 energies in this room that will live on. If I come back in 1,000 years, my sweatshirt will decay. This cup will no longer be here. My water bottle will be gone this summer. The only thing that's real is something that's permanent that in 10,000 years is still here. It doesn't die. That's the definition of reality. And these are very annoying words, just so you know. It took me forever to get these. An illusion is a sweatshirt, because you and I both know that I have to leave it here and come back in 1,000 years, it's going to be crumbled into I don't know what. An illusion, by that word from the Course, is something that's temporary, that in 10,000 years have decayed or it's gone. Got it? So reality versus illusion is this concept. So this feeling of being hurt by my mother, according to the Course, is an illusion. And that's what I have to forgive. Forgiving is giving this thought to God and saying the truth is, I am love. And I know my nervous system thinks you hurt me, you beat me, you were mean to me, you betrayed me. That's what my nervous system says. But it's not real, because it's not going to be here in 10,000 years. Only the energy of my souls, which is expansive, which is love, is real. I'll say one more thing before I open to Q&A. I was just teaching the Return to Self class on mother wound, father wound. And I'm going to make it really clear. You can't get to where I'm at. I'm talking like this babbling that I just did on forgiveness and the divine. It normally takes years. If you're newer, not necessarily even newer, but you're newer to like healing your mother or father wound, great. Be mad at your mother or father for I don't know how many years. I don't know how long it's going to take you. I can tell you Divi took, oh God, from my 20s till like probably a decade and a half before I was willing to start forgiveness work. I don't know, Lilani, were you the same? Louise, were you the same? Please tell me you guys were the same. Well, the only one to be mad for 10 to 15 years. Thank God. Lilani, were you the same?
Like, yeah, it was definitely after I got my graduate degree before I started that work. Yeah.
So it takes time. So if you're in the phase of the journey of life where you want to give the middle finger to your mother, put the 2 middle fingers up to your dad, or put boundaries up, like fuck you, don't ever see you again in my life, like screw you. Sorry, I swear a lot. But there, I'm sorry, Brie. I'm sorry, Rachel. I always forget. Okay, cool. Keep going. So you're just like, and Brie, no offense, you might do this to your mom at some point. I'm waiting for my son to do it to me. It's all good. Don't worry. It's all good. It's part of human development. It's all good. So you're like, screw you. I want nothing to do with you. That's phase 1. Then phase 2 is to go, okay, what do I really feel? And where I just went was phase 3. So it's a journey. Got it? It's a journey. You're not going to get to the guides and forgiveness overnight. But if you're willing, and I said in the last class, it just takes a little bit of willingness, just like a desire. And the more willing you are, the more willing you are, the more willing you are, the more it'll occur. All right. So typically in the school group communities, I typically teach for about 15, 20, 20, 30 minutes. Then I open up to Q&A. It's more like Q&A and coaching. So if there's any questions, I'll go there. And if there's not, I can teach more. So to answer questions, just to ask questions, you go to a react button down below where the heart is and just stick up your hand. If you can't do that, just let me know and I will grab you. So let's take a breath. We'll give a few minutes. If anyone's got a question, throw your hand up. No, Emmy, your hand is up. I'll give it a second. Okay, let's start with you, Emmy. You there?
Oh,
Hey, you.
yeah. Can you hear me? I don't think so.
You're good. I can
Am
hear
I
you.
muted? You can
Okay.
hear me? Okay, good. Okay, sorry. I was like, how do I unmute myself? Okay, so I'm so glad to be here. I had a really difficult morning. Um, I'm dealing with a mother wound, and it's about, this ongoing issue of this land that we share. And I was thinking about land and like whether land is an illusion or not. But yeah, basically, I'm just feeling really. There's something with my mother about her promising something and then taking it away. And I was able to bring in, like, this energy of love. And I was able to be like, oh, like maybe it's better that she's not there, but I can't let go of the land that we share. It's harder to let go of the land than I can soothe myself about my mom not being there, but letting go of the land is feeling really hard. So anything about that.
Cool. So stay in your body. So as you saw, I think you were there when I taught the first three beliefs of the ego. The first one's separation, the second one's attachment, the third one's control, right?
Yeah.
So what do you perceive the land? And this is your ego has grabbed you on this one. It's right in your stomach and solar plexus. Like it's
Yeah.
grabbed the land to make it mean something.
Yeah.
What do you make the land mean?
Security, safety.
Okay. So you've put something on the land that's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole group, use the chat box. Where's the only place you're going to find security and safety? The trick question. I'm teasing. Where am I going to find security and safety?
Like with my own soul, like in my own self.
Exactly. Trina wrote within you, within God. Bang on. And it's not even within yourself in terms of the human self, Emmy. It's in connection with the divine. And right now, Spirit is using this land to get the ego out tripped, and then it gets projected onto your mom as being a bad mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nothing to do with the land. It's got to do with your attachment to the land and what you perceive the land's going to give you. Breathe, please.
Yeah.
Are you willing to give that up?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you give up the idea that safety is there, guess what's going to happen?
I don't know.
Okay. It's going to be a tough one because you have so much energy attached to the land of safety.
Mm-hmm.
And you may, if you wish, be able to release the mother wound. Stay in your body. What's happening for you right now?
Yeah. Something is shifting.
Okay.
Like I can feel that I mixed up the land and my mom.
Yeah.
And that when I let go of looking at that as safety and security, then something's shifting. Like I can feel like my head and my heart and my stomach kind of moving around.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I can feel it too, like your whole body's moving. So
Yeah.
if safety was not the land, could you release the grip on your mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it feels way more expansive to put safety and security with God and with myself, like, and in my soul. Like that feels way safer, actually.
Right. And it's almost like a lasso. You can see how the ego will lasso you back to go, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but.
Yeah.
And I'll just say one more thing. What if this whole thing about the land, which I know has been going on for years now, was about healing the mother wound on a deeper level for you?
It makes way more sense. Yeah. Because I want to be a mother too. So it makes sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. So much love, Annie, so much love.
Thank you.
Can we all relate to her? Such and such is going to make me feel better. Such and such is going to make me feel better. PJ wrote, the feeling of security I want lives in me. Securing the land is also how prison works too. It's a tricky balance. Well said, PJ. We really want to see how much we outsource our safety into everything else. We do it all the time, and it's a very tricky slope the ego does all the time, all the time. Like up out there, up out there, up out there. And me sending you prayers on the journey. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your kind words. See you next week, Leslie. Perfect. PJ, how are you?
Hey,
How are you?
I'll turn my camera on to you here. Um, hey,
Hey.
so yeah, I feel like I'm having some fear coming up right now around, yeah, financial, I would say is the biggest part of it, like for me at this moment in time. And I'm I'm in this I feel like I'm in kind of a tricky balancing act right now with I basically made a bunch of progress in my research that I hadn't touched in years.
Okay.
Um, and I made so much progress on it using an AI tool that I feel like I have some publishable work now,
Amazing. Wow.
which is incredibly amazing. And it's something that I've largely kept to myself because, I mean, it's not very connected to my life now. You know, like I used to do this stuff, but um, I've been working in tech and stuff like that for quite a while, and so it represents quite a departure from what I normally do, um, and I can't help myself but investigate it and enjoy it and love the creative process of it. Um, I also feel I have a tendency to get lost in these things, and I find like yeah, I could, I certainly could be investing more effort right now into reaching out to new clients, for example, potential clients, or just making more connections with people who want to work with me. Um, and how do I balance the creative excitement of discovering something with my life, which means a lot to me, and I don't want to uh, destabilize my life by diving very deeply into something creative like this. Um, yeah, so I am just feeling a tension there, and I notice there's a lot of fear coming up. Um, I actually feel that the work that I'm doing is leading me to some very concrete technology ideas that I think will be amazing. Um, but you know, I feel pretty alone,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So I'll see if this. One of the things you said was this. Use the expression. I don't want to destabilize my life and the excitement versus the life.
Yeah.
So what I wrote down was ask him to stop speaking for his limitations because whenever something triggers us, it's a chance to heal something in us.
Hmm.
You with me? It's the best thing about being triggered. Oh wow, there's something that I haven't healed inside of me. What's
Hmm.
it all about?
Yeah, there's just this deep belief that anything that I might be, interested in creatively must be fucking waste of time.
And just so you know, this is all in your kidney area because my kidneys are pounding on me right now. So
Mm,
that fear is constricting your kidneys and constricting,
mm,
and the ego is deciding for you your path rather than saying, because excitement in my world is like passion, love, freedom, and spirit.
yes.
It's the divine
And
spirit.
I've been feeling so much of that come through with the scientific work.
Nice.
It's coming through with so much love and connection to my whole life. I mean, I've been the work I'm doing now is revisiting milestones in my scientific work from the very beginning of like even high school.
Oh, wow.
It's an incredible unification of things that I've done in my career, and impossible for me to ignore how that feels, you know?
And so, what if you just stopped questioning it?
It feels like, you know, the jumping off the cliff and, you know, trusting my wings. And um I also feel like I've got, you know, another human with me now who's gonna go down with me if I don't do well. Yeah. I think I probably associate being abandoned
Yeah.
with my dad having done this or
God,
some version of this, or that was my perception. It makes sense.
totally does. So, that shadow really wants to make sure everything is safe for your kid if you take this leap.
Yeah.
And then again, that constriction is right in that back area because it tightens every time you tell me that. And yet, that's a not trusting source. And also, there's a wisdom in you, no offense to your dad, that he didn't have. To
Uh-huh.
I just keep seeing a picture of a sailboat, to keep the boat afloat despite you wanting to go for a ride.
Mm.
Like, so the boat can stay afloat as you fly. And every time you see the boat kind of topsail, just run back and make sure it's stable. It's not mutually exclusive. But that shadow in you does believe it's mutually exclusive, that I'm going to blow up my life. I'm going to blow up that sailboat.
Yeah.
See that?
Hmm.
How are you doing?
Yeah, that feels good. Um, I feel I feel like I can honor the fear as a remnant, you know, of past experience, but um I can, you know, I can use it. I can use the energy and transform it. I think that's what the creative work helps me to stay in the practice of, is just continually being curious and using what I've got, you know, kind of right now.
I'll say one more thing. There's always something called divine timing. This was all sent to you when you're already at a base to your stability of that sailboat.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. There's always something called divine timing, right?
Yeah.
This was sent to you knowing that you knew how to to write that sailboat. Like that sailboat, you know how to make that secure. So this is sent to you now because you now know how to secure the
Uh,
sailboat despite wanting to fly. Which maybe a year or two ago you wouldn't have known.
mm-hmm. Well, I made a very deliberate request for, you know, to get access again to the things that I loved and lost access to over time.
Right.
And it's happening. So that's an incredible thing. And it's incredibly scary too.
And exciting.
Yeah. Yes. Incredibly exciting.
Feel good.
Yeah. That's the
Thanks, PJ. So much love to you. So much love. How are you, Lilani?
I'm great, thank you.
Amazing.
I just had a clarifying question to kind of follow up on what we were talking about, my question, the other class. So when when you asked about who creates,
Yes, I remember that one. Yeah.
and I responded with we do. Would it is it is the language more accurate to say that God does the creating, but people are the messengers?
You could do it that way. There's a line from the Course, and I think it's in the Bible too, that says, "But of all things, I can do nothing without my Creator."
Uh-huh. Okay. So, sorry, my mind is like having a
I know I can
heyday with
tell.
this.
I can tell. Wonderful.
Um, where my mind is giving me pushback is like in taking me back to the comment from Rebecca in the coaching session the other day, right? When I had the same struggle point, and her response was, remember that you are divine,
Right.
right? So where is the balance point of uh, acknowledging that beam of sunlight that is right when we do it through beams of sunlight or we do it through the vortex,
Yeah.
right? Like recognizing that the vortex is me, but that I'm not doing the creating.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is that. And Joni's like, you're not the only one. It is the language and it is the verbiage, but the more deeper you get into it, the deeper you get into it, it's really even taking out the idea that Lilani exists and these
Fair,
all gifts of source.
right?
So if we spend some time right now, you and I looking around wherever you're sitting,
Yep.
what are you grateful for right now? Just talk out loud.
Oh man, the breeze. I'm grateful for the mountains that I get to see. I'm grateful for these flowers. I'm grateful for this class. I'm grateful for the breath.
Who gave you all
I'm
that?
grateful.
Who gave you all that?
God.
Stay with there.
Okay.
Everything is given of love for love. And if you're an extension of spirit with no kind of separations,
Right.
you're seeing the continuation of that energy,
Correct.
creation.
Totally. Yeah.
So even getting to a point that not that Lilani doesn't exist, but that Lilani is is in is is along for the ride of the experience of spirit through her.
Eso. See. Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
That feels all very much in alignment. But yeah, I think my hang up is that if I am me and no, if um
I know. I can tell it's the nuance of the work.
it is, it
It's
is
so
totally that is what's fucking with my head.
no, it is. I try not to go here because it fucks my head up too. I try not to go here. In one of the classes I take, I used to take, I don't take right now. The teacher used to say, I am the energy expressing as Divi.
Fair. I can totally wrap my head around that.
Cool, cool, cool. And so and you know that word non-doership, right? I
Right?
don't do anything. So
Correct?
it is this nuance and duality going out into a non-dual world. We're trying to take duality into a non-duality conversation.
Right.
Right? And that's the hard part. Right. And
Okay.
I like you and I like Joan. I'm like, I like Joni just said, is it important to know or just feel? Just feel. I let go of the words because I can get really heady trying to figure it out. So I just let it go
Okay.
and feel the essence of the love. That's it.
And I, the part of me that wants the words is the part of me that wants to be able
To teach it.
to be the teacher.
Yeah. And the teaching comes from the experience, and spirit will give you in the exact words for the client at that time. The client will understand.
Deal. I
You
can
have to
surrender
trust.
that.
And then I can tell you personally, I spent so long trying to understand non-dual concepts, still struggle with the non-doership, but it's just this moment to moment, day to day, second to second awareness.
Okay.
Never say I totally get it. Back and forth, back and forth.
Fair. Okay. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you. Of
Thank you.
course. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, how are you guys?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I wrote some things down here, and I kind of lost my exact question, but I'm just trying to understand um, the three beliefs of the ego, and I start with fear all of the time. So I fear putting myself out there. I always my mind runs through all of the what ifs, what do people think of me and that sort of thing. And then I get to anger and frustration, and I get angry or frustrated at myself
Okay.
for going through this cycle of fear.
Okay.
And as I reflect on the past, a few years ago when I was putting myself out there in a different way, I was like, fuck it. I'm doing it. And I released myself out in frustration. And what I put out was still great. Like nobody could tell that was the energy that was put forward. It was still very creative, and it was still received in a positive way. But that's what it took. And I would really like to avoid getting to that stage of energy. And I'd rather just, put myself out there working around the fear or releasing the fear, not having fear. Why would I have fear? As I talk this out, I'm like, why would I have fear for putting myself out there? I've been successful in the past, and now it's a new thing that I'm doing. And I just have all of this resistance.
Perfect.
And I feel it building.
And you feel it building, right?
Building to that like anger, frustration point where I'm just like, let's do it. And I was just like, don't want to get to that point. It takes so much energy to get to that point.
It's exhausting. It really is. Get it. First thing they're saying is tell him to not beat himself up, that it's a journey. And I know you know that. What's it like for you to perceive yourself as an extension of the creator?
Well, I've never thought of that before. So, but it totally makes sense. Like that little connection right there is like, I am an extension of the creator. I am the creator. Yeah. I can see that.
As you see in your body, I want you to know that I'm feeling this in your body, and right where your angel wings are in a shirt, right at the lower base of your lower scapula, in between. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I just felt this like tug there. So if I am an extension of the creator, stay in those wings in the back of your body. If I am an extension of the creator, stay there in your wings, good. Then everything I'm being guided to do is being guided from them through me. Can you feel that?
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so it's not even about putting yourself out there or not putting yourself out there. It's being that extension of the creator. And that's it. So take a few breaths before I say anything else. Just take that into your body. It's a different fight. There you go. There you go. Good, good, good. And this piece I'm teaching you right now, Jamie, and I know you're in the RTS class. This is for Divi, what I've discovered. This is for Louise, who's here, Lonnie. This is Sheena. This is the most important part of being intuitive. And Denise is like, and Joni is like, trusting that energy and that energy only, Haley. Only. That's it. That's all you are. Is you're purely an extension of spirit. You feel that? knowing that the ego is going to get frustrated, try to control, but there's not, when you just let your angel wings do the work, what would happen? How could you show up in the world?
Yeah, when I think about it, when I break it down like that, and a lot of what I've been telling myself too is that if I just speak from my heart, if I just come from my heart, right? That's what I've been reminding myself, and sometimes it takes me a little bit of time to just kind of squash that fear for me to enter my heart.
Okay.
And then I'll start my writing, or I'll start my planning of what I want to post, or whatever it is. And it feels better that way. And so this is like the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, I'm an extension of source.
Right.
And I create from my heart.
Right. Because your heart is your connection to the divine. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. It's just a belief system, a pattern that as I practice working on, it will be my default mode.
Yeah.
And so that's, what I'm breaking through right now.
And if I say it, and so the only reason we have frustration and anger, going back to the beginning of the class, is when we perceive we're separate, then especially in the male body, I have to do something to prove my worth. As women have to, don't get me wrong, but it seems it's like slightly more stronger, not stronger, but different in men in a different way. It's like, I have to make sure X, Y, Z happens for safety.
Right.
That's the attachment and anger. Then the fear comes in because you got to make sure you do it, because then you're important, and then you're a guy, and then you prove your worth. See how you get looped there?
Yeah.
And yet, when you go to the very base, the first belief, you got to go to the first to undo the second and third. Now, I never say it's harder than a man or harder than a woman. I never say that. It's strong in you because you're in the male physical realm, and it's like so deeply hammered into your psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's who you are.
Yeah. Especially coming from like the construction background and everything that I once lived. Yeah.
That's funny because they kept showing me a hammer.
Our worth is, as masculines in that world, our worth is like was set in our skill level. Yeah.
And so now it's a gradual undoing, and women and men, we all have it slightly differently. It's not like a line in between, but even like I've met a lot of women just to get very like, sexist and kind of like basic, a lot of women are like, well, if I'm not a size 2, then if I'm not gorgeous, then like, so it's the same shit, just different faces, right? Same crap. But to be honest, nowadays everybody has a mix of the whole thing. So one of your guys just said to me, but you were not that to begin with anyways. No, and I'll say it differently. This is the way I would say it. No one put a hammer in you at birth, but somebody put your heart in you at birth. And if you're in this lifetime, Jamie, to spread your heart and spread your healing energy, because that was your gift at birth.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that feels good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Amazing. And I'll just say one last thing. The fight is normal, but when you find yourself fighting, just go back here. Like you're saying, I'm going to go back tomorrow. I'm going to go back tomorrow. I'm going to go back tomorrow. And just know that fight it's a never ending fight. It doesn't stop looping. Like when I get there, I'm just like, game over. Might as well stop now. You make sense?
Yeah.
So the fight creates the fight, creates the fight, creates the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see it.
Thank you. Hey, Troy, how are you? And I apologize, guys. I got another call at 12. How are you, Troy?
Okay. So it feels like some of what I'm experiencing might be similar to what PJ was, just in terms of venturing out into something else, and then the fear associated with that. So I've been trying to focus on the non-doership piece, which is, I say, relatively new to me. And I'm transitioning out of my home, out of my current job the way it is, as well as my marriage.
Right.
And on the work front, I'm being led, feels like, to move out on my own.
Right.
And I've been spending a lot of time meditating, and then I've even had like random company name pop into my head. And then what I'm present to is there's definitely some fear there. And then when I was meditating this morning, there was also in the pit of my stomach when we were doing the mother, father,
Yeah.
and sibling wound. The sibling wound just really came up and it was just like stuck in the pit of my stomach, and I was like, oh fuck. So I'm just wondering what kind of pops up in that regard.
And it's funny because isn't one of your siblings on the call right now?
That's my only sibling.
Oh, you only have one. Okay, I don't know. Want to go there?
Yep, sure.
What do you sense it is?
Well, I was just kind of revisiting this. So I'm not even sure if they're all related. Like there's the fear piece of it feels like I'm being led work-wise a particular way, and then I think I'm second guessing that and say, well, how do I know I'm going the right way and all of that piece. Um as it pertains to the sibling wound, I think it feels like more just being able to look at that and to put some forgiveness focus on that.
Very much so. I would agree. Something you said, how do I know I'm going the right way? To be honest, you don't. It's like a massive free fall trust. And very much like PJ said, it's like the boat and the wings, right? It's having one foot in both doors and just kind of going, yeah, I'm going to fly my wings and I'm going to make sure that boat is safe while I do it. And one thing your guys just said to me is remind them all that they can't get it wrong. Everything's a learning curve. So I take this one step, I'm going to run back to safety. I'm going to take this one step, run back to safety. What I perceive as safety.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only safe place is inside of the divine container of the I am. How is that feeling? And it's this never-ending journey of really giving ourselves permission to feel that or be there.
I mean, I think one of the big things for me is it feels like oftentimes I'd be being led a particular way, and then there would be resistance at some point.
Got it.
And it's like, what the hell? Like it feels like go, 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 everything's good.
Right.
And I mean, I think one difference is the way that I'm approaching it in terms of that non-doership versus I have control. And so I'm trying to, give it to the divine, at least much more consciousness around that.
Amazing.
And then just kind of play with it there.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the work, what you're saying. No, and noticing if there's a shadow who's saying this is the yellow brick road, everything's going to work out. Because there is no yellow brick road. It's like the never-ending journey of learning and observing and shifting and healing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
And there's some resistance to that yellow brick road. I'm like, there is one, God damn it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's why I said it. Because the only yellow brick road is love, is a return to love, so to speak. Great.
Okay.
Okay. All good. Louise, I'll text you on the WhatsApp group. Okay, cool. Amazing. Let's do a quick closing meditation. Let's close our eyes and take a breath. Long breath in, slow breath out. Deep breath in, quiet breath out. Yeah, a couple people are asking if Tina's okay. Tina, you okay? I think she's just sleeping. She just came out of hospital, like literally like 3 days ago or 2 days ago. So there she is. Tina, you got all these people sending you love. She's like, I knew you were okay, but they were all asking me in the chat group. So they all love you so much. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Bree. Thanks, Liz. All right, sending you guys lots of love. We'll see some of you guys this week. Have a great day, guys. See you guys something new next week. All right, ciao.